In this segment, I will demonstrate how to write to Android's logging system and how to view the logging output. Let's hop straight into creating a line in the log. We will add our line of logging to the onCreate method of our app, since we know this will be called every time the app is run. To do this, we'll simply add the line log.d and then the name for the application or process sending the logs, and then our message that will show up in the log. So log.d, tag, and then our message. Now every time onCreate is called, this line will appear in the log. Let's run it and see what happens. And as it compiles, and then we'll deploy the app to my physical device over USB. And the app is up. Let's take a look at the logs. So we click on the Android tab, and we can see the logs that are coming from the device. We don't see the line that we added because the display filter is set to warn. And the log that we just created is a debug level log. We can take a quick look at the Android API reference here, and it defines all the different logging levels. And if we actually hop to the definition of these, you can see that they're all ranked with a number, and there are 6 logging levels. Unfortunately, they're not ordered by priority in the API reference, but from the values we can figure it out. So when we set the filter to a level, it will display all log lines. So when we set this filter, it's going to display all log lines that are at that level or higher. So if we set the filter to warn, which is level 5, we'll also show error and assert level logs. Since our line is a debug level, we'll only see it if we choose verbose or debug. So let's change the level to verbose or debug. And wow, there's a lot going on the system. It'll probably be easier if we create a special filter to actually pick out our logs. So I'm going to add a new filter, and I'm going to name it Photo Effects. It's the name of my app, and so this filter, and you can see it's already helping me, but this filter will show all of the logs from my app, or more precisely, all of the logs whose tag starts with this line. So hit OK. And now using that, we can see our line of log right here. Let's go back to our line of log and improve it a bit. So I will hide this. And the first thing we want to do, it's best practice to always use a constant for the log tag rather than hard coding them in every line. If they're hard-coded on every line, we may, if there's logs here and there throughout the program, they are a lot harder to manage that way. It will ensure that the tags remain accurate even if we relocate or reuse the code, and it makes it easier if we need to change them all for some reason. This tag is defined just above right here, so we just declare private works, a private static final string. We can call it tag, and we can just give it the name of the class that we're in, and so then that will be the tag that's actually used to display the log, which is actually what we saw right here. So when we run it now, we'll get these camera activity, which is what's actually defined in that constant. If we wanted, we could also change the level at which the log is produced just by changing the method that we're calling. So set it as a warning level or set it as an info level. But for our purposes, debug is actually very appropriate. For those familiar with other logging systems, such as Log4j, you might be wondering whether this filter affects what is captured or only filters what is displayed. It only affects the display. All levels of logging are always recorded, so be careful not to be too liberal with logging using Android's built-in logging system, as you could create a performance issue. Also be careful about what you log, as it will be visible to anyone who connects their device to a debugger. Thank you for watching the tutorial. Look in the description for links to other useful resources.